Hello, everybody. Hello. I hope you're doing so well. It's hot out there. We're sitting in the sun. I don't know why, but at least we're inside. It's in the 90s today, so we were out running errands all day long, doing grocery shopping, food prepping, doing just like a bunch of errands and stuff. So it's nice to finally be inside and have a minute to sit down and relax. I'm feeling just like so tense lately. So if you are willing, before we get started, I just wanted to check in and say hi to you guys, but let's just take a minute to take a deep breath and just kind of reset ourselves. I feel like I need a good reset. So let's do that. Let me actually, because I am obsessed with Palo Santo. I have my diffuser going too. It smells. It's aromatherapy. Just grounds me and makes me feel so good. So before we stop and take a deep breath, I want to light up this Palo Santo. I want to bless the space and just allow some new energies to flow and take a deep breath of this, because this is my favorite. If you have never smelled Palo Santo, it smells like a sweet wood. It's a sweet wood burning smell. It's just a very special smell to me. So there we go. I'm not sure what you're doing today, what you're doing in this moment. If you are at work on your lunch break, if you are getting home from work, waking up, if it's the end of your day, whatever it is, just take a minute to stop what you're doing. If you have the time to sit and watch this video, then you have the time to stop and just take a deep breath. We don't often do that enough, and I find myself needing to do this multiple times throughout the day because I'm usually just go. And then by the end of the day, I sit down and I realize, what the heck? I haven't had a minute to myself this whole entire day, but we can find minutes to ourselves. And right now is the perfect time, if you are sitting here watching this video, to just close your eyes with me and take a deep breath. And not only to take a deep breath, but to be intentional about your breath, to be intentional about what you are trying to achieve, which is to reset, let go of stagnant energies, and to open up yourself to let new energies and new vibrations flow through you. So if you're watching this with me right now, take a minute to just let your muscles relax and take a deep breath in. And exhale. Do whatever you need to do to relieve any sort of tensions or stresses. I usually carry a lot of stress right here in my shoulders, in my neck. Usually have to give myself a good little roll here. Oh, that feels good. Wow. What you got there, boo? Oh, it's okay. It is really just amazing what 30 seconds of intentional breathing can do. It's just like an entire reset on my day. I feel like I'm just getting started again. So, hello. Now that I feel like I'm really here with you in the moment, it feels good. It is good to be talking to you. I have had a lot on my mind. I've been going months without allowing myself to have any sort of creative outlet. I told myself in the beginning of the year that I was going to take a break to focus on Iris, to focus on healing some traumas that were popping up with me. So I wasn't going to do any writing. I wasn't going to do any coaching or be on social media. Be gentle. I have vines growing over here on this wall, and she's trying to pull at them. Hey, boo-boo. Be gentle with those. So I'm glad that I did that for myself. to an extent, because I really needed a break. I did not have the energy to spare. I barely had the energy for myself, and I just, after giving it away to Iris and to Ryan, hi boo boo, hey, that's loud. I couldn't allow myself to give any more of it away to anybody else. Oh, okay. How about we switch sides? How about that? Here, let me give you your cards. Do you want to take these? You take these over here. And if you want to, you can play with that too. That's Daddy's. You can play with that. So, here, I'll put this in. Okay. There we go. So, yeah, so I was not allowing myself any sort of creative outlet, and it made me realize a lot of things about myself. Is that before, I really did not believe that I was a creative person. I don't know why, but throughout my whole life, if you would have asked me, I would have just told you, no, I'm not a creative person. And it's so silly now that I say it out loud, because us as humans, we're creative by nature. That is just the thing about us as humans, is that we are creative. But in my mind, I was just thinking that being creative meant that you were good at drawing, or good at painting, or good at making things look aesthetically pleasing, which is true, but that's not the extent of creativity. And you can be creative in so many different ways, and I didn't really realize that for myself. I don't know why. Even after writing and publishing 2 books, still in my mind I would have told you, I'm not creative. So one thing that I learned about myself was that I am a creative person, and I'm creative in my writing. I'm creative in the way that I express myself through my words, specifically through writing, more so than speaking. Sometimes I have trouble with speaking. I don't know why. But I've just been thinking a lot about, my career path, and the things that I want to achieve, the things that I want to create, because I've been just in this whirlwind of creative inspiration, and it just feels like I'm riding this new wave of creativity, and it feels amazing. And so it's been making me think a lot, because I have this problem. I don't know who can relate to me. Yeah, I have this problem where I get inspired to create something, and then I think in my head, like, oh wow, that's a great idea, right? And everything in me wants to create it just for the sake of creating it. And then my thoughts get in my head, and my thoughts get carried away, and I start thinking, okay, am I actually going to be able to pull this off? And if I pull this off, it could be really big. And if it's really big, then blah, blah, blah could happen. And oh, wow, how cool if this and this happened. So I better make sure that it's my best work yet. And I get in my head, and I just kind of derail myself, because by that time, I'm so far off in the what ifs and the high expectations that I have completely forgotten why I was going to create in the first place. I forgot that initial inspiration that swept me off my feet, that wanted to take me into my zone of creation, right? Without the expectations of how it will be received, if it will even be received, if I will even put it out into the world. So I've been trying really hard now, especially being back online. It can be really difficult, because you see people around you, and maybe you've been inspired to start something new, to go take a different career path, to create something physically with your hands, to manifest something for yourself. And you have the idea, you have the inspiration, and you know how that feels, because when that inspiration hits you, it feels like, oh yes, this is what is meant to be. I can do this. I know how to do this. And if we didn't get in our heads, wow. I mean, I can just imagine like how creative, how expressive we would all be if we didn't get into our heads. But what I am trying to remember, and what I want to share with you to remember for yourself, is that each one of us is so extremely unique in the way that we think, the way that we express ourselves, unique in our natural talents and abilities, the things that we are drawn to, passionate about, the way that we execute things. Hey, boo-boo. Ow, why am I wearing these? Okay, let go. No. No. I don't know how you managed to do that. Let go, please. Okay, that one's coming off. We are unique in everything that we are. There is nobody in the entire universe who ever was or who ever will be like us. Nobody else will ever see things the way that you see things, the way that I see things. Nobody will ever think about things or respond to situations in the exact same way that we do. So when we want to create something, when we want to do something, right, follow a certain career path, we want to be something, right, want to bring something to the world, and we're afraid that it's not going to measure up, that is one of the worst things we can do for ourselves. Because we can look at other people and see how other people have done things. We can see that they've been successful by doing A, B, and C. And that's great because we can learn from that. But at the same time, it's already been done that way, right? I think that if something is calling to you, you're being drawn to something, then that means it is for you. And there's a reason for that. Because of our unique abilities and talents and thoughts, we're going to bring something new to the table. So you can look at that successful person and think, wow, if they're doing it A, B, and C, that must be the way it's supposed to be done. And that is not true. There is no way that things are supposed to be done, right? Things worked for them because at that time it was needed. It was needed for them to execute things in the unique way that they do, that they naturally do. But now that's already been done, and you're being called to do the same thing. Well, guess what? It's a different time now. So now what is needed is for it to be done in the unique way that you're going to do things. It's time for things to be done in the way that you naturally want to express it, right? The way that you feel inspired to create it. That's why you're being called to it right now. That's why you're being drawn to that, because you have something else to offer that has never been offered before and that will never be offered again. So I think that the most destructive thing that we can do for ourselves and for the world is to not allow ourselves to express ourselves the way that we naturally want to express ourselves, for fear of it being rejected, for fear of failure, whatever the fear or the worry, the doubt may be. That's a destructive path to go down, because we are creative by nature. We are expressive by nature. That is what makes us human. And so we need to, and I'm saying this to you, as much as I am saying it to myself, I am still trying to affirm this to myself daily, to express ourselves in the way that is most natural to us. So with my new book that I'm writing, I'm really working on that. I'm working on not letting my thoughts get carried away, not worrying about what people may think, if people will receive it well, if it's going to be this big thing, because then I start critiquing myself too much and I start forgetting that initial inspiration, and just, I want to create for the sake of creating. It doesn't matter how it's received, right? Because who knows, maybe it won't even be received. Maybe I'm just writing it to heal myself and the world will never see it. And it's that thought that I think will take it to the next level naturally. And yeah, that's just been on my mind. So I don't know who needed to hear that, but Ryan and I were talking about that the other day too, and he really needed to hear that. And I'm sure somebody else out there needs to hear that too, because it's a really good reminder. It's just one of those things that you might have heard before, but you know, hearing it in a different way, in a different light, in a different time. Hi, boo. It just kind of resonates different. So anyway, say hi, chunky legs. A chunk, 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 a chunky, chunky, chunk. There's my girl. Mwah. Besito? No? We're gonna sit back there. So, oh, wow, it feels good. It feels good to sit here and just be able to talk. I'm still working on this space. I put the, do you see what's happening? I put this chair in here, and I've put all these plants up, these shelves. I have my books up there, my certificate framed on the wall, but I'm gonna have to rearrange it because the way that the light comes in this way, you can't see any of the things that I set up. So I'm really trying to make this a beautiful space. I'm trying to make it aesthetically pleasing, and it's a whole vibe if you could see the whole thing. So I'm still trying to figure it out, but for right now it is what it is, and it totally works. I have a spot to sit down and to talk and express myself, so that's all that is important. Okay, I should have taken off that earring too. Why am I wearing earrings with a baby? Somebody explain. All right, earrings are going away, and so are we. Say goodbye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you later. Have a good day. Oh, this one's gonna go down for a nap. All right. Stay blessed out there. I will talk to you all later. Bye.